As we are in the holiday season, millions of people are giving worldwide to make an impact on a community, on a family, or on an individual. Recent studies shown that the top dates in December for giving are December 30th and December 31st, with 26% of annual revenue accounting for nonprofits simply off of this month of giving alone. Recent studies have also shown that $500 billion was given to different organizations that are 501c3 in 2022. And even though we are kind of in an economic downturn due to the lasting impacts of COVID and just the state of our economy in the United States, giving is still consistently at an all-time high. And so as I was looking at this data, I thought it would be cool to talk about different things that I want my viewers to think about as you are giving. I know when I first started giving to different organizations, I didn't really know why I was giving. I just kind of felt like that was the right thing to do for me. And if I saw a cute post or, I felt like the leaders were doing a great thing in the community, I felt the need to give. But as I've gotten older and I am coming into the social impact space, I am learning that there can be a system to giving, and how these nonprofits are targeting their audiences is really powerful. And so I want my donors to understand different things that you can think through as you are giving. It doesn't matter if you're giving $1, a bike, an office supply, or giving your time and volunteering. What you do matters, and it's important. And so it's important for you to think about the organizations that you're serving with and why you're serving them. So let's dive into this topic. The first thing that I want you guys to think about as you are considering to give is figuring out, what does giving mean for you? Is that giving money? Is that giving your time? Or is that giving something of economic value? And yes, you can give other assets such as, office supplies, clothing, any kind of in-kind donation, or even stocks and crypto. Some organizations do take those items as well. But a lot of times we're just giving just to give. And of course, the top nonprofit types that receive giving are churches and religious organizations. But of course, there are specified nonprofits that you can look into giving. As you are figuring out who you want to give to, study the message of the organization. Does this resonate with your morals and your values? Does this align with, things that you consider to be of value to you? Do you think that this organization is maximizing their dollars as they are contributing to solving a specific issue in a community? There are so many small organizations that are left out of the conversation for a lot of reasons. It could be they're not marketing their message effectively. They're not really showing the type of impact that they're making in the community. And we don't want those nonprofits to be left out. And so I encourage you guys to not just give to the big organizations that have billions of dollars already, millions of dollars already, but look into local organizations, those small to mid-sized nonprofits that are really making an impact in the community, but their voices may not be as amplified as others. And as you're studying them, looking into their message, looking into the history of the organization, studying the staff, who is the executive director, who is on the board of directors, who are the type of people that they want to serve them and help them as they're helping others. This can help you get a better sense of if this is an organization that you would like to donate to. Once you begin to create a list of organizations that you want to, look into, I would encourage you to think about the overall impact. And so you can categorize the types of organizations that you want to give to. This is something that I've done in the past. So if you want to give to a organization that focuses on healthcare, you can give to them. You can look into an organization that works with the arts and humanities and preserving, history and different things like that. You can give to a local shelter that focuses on preventing animal abuse or ensuring that animals have a safe home until they're adopted. There are so many ways to systemically set out your list so that you're able to give to multiple organizations. And once you have those different areas, and then the organizations that fall under the areas that you prioritize, then you can look into, okay, now that I've prioritized what matters to me, the organizations that fall under these categories, this is the type of thing that I would like to give to them. I may want to give money to the local animal shelter, but I may want to serve as a volunteer with the organization that works with the arts and humanities community. Or I would like to give an in-kind donation to the organization that focuses on healthcare because I see that they need a lot of technology resources such as laptops, iPads, and computers as they're moving out into rural communities where the technology access is limited. So there are so many ways that you can look into how to give, and again, making sure that you have some form of a system can help you to not feel overwhelmed as you are beginning to give. The third point that I would like you guys to think about is look at the number of supporters and partners that the organization currently has. And this goes back to the point that I briefly talked about earlier. There are a lot of local organizations that are doing wonderful things right under our noses and we don't know. Most times because they don't have enough money to support marketing and communications, and their dollars are going to serve in the community. And so as you are looking into those that are online and have a strong online presence, those that you're already familiar with, most people think about the American Red Crosses, the Operation Blessings, and different nonprofits like that. There are still so many local ones that I want you guys to consider as you're beginning to build up your portfolio for giving. And when you're looking into this organization, looking at the type of partners and sponsors and other collaborators that are in their network can give you an idea of the type of support that they may need. And so again, you can tailor what type of giving you want to give to these different organizations depending on where they are economically. And then something that I think is important that I personally do is study the leadership of the organization. Do they have a long-standing reputation of walking in integrity, making sure that their standards are ethical, making sure that their donors are, really vetted, and their partners are vetted as well, so that they're running a smooth operation and serving those that they're wanting to serve. For me, if I see a high turnover of staff, if I see a high turnover of board of directors, if I see board of directors that may have a history of not walking in integrity, whether that be fiscally or in their leadership or their job, those are things that personally I kind of keep in the back of my mind. And it's not to say that I don't give to these organizations, because things happen and people make mistakes, but those are things that you can kind of look for as you are determining if this is an organization that you want to give to. We want to remember the organization staff. They are the bread and butter of the nonprofit. And most times, we know that nonprofit staff members are typically overworked and underpaid unless they have the big bucks coming in, the grants coming in, or they're grant funded. In the programs that they do, many times they are operating with little manpower and not a lot of money, or they do have the manpower but they don't have enough money to support the staff the way that a private sector organization may be able to do so. And so we want to make sure that our staff are being treated fairly, and making sure that they're being poured into. And that's something that you guys can look into as well. And some things you won't know because you're not in the organization, but you can look at different things on the website or LinkedIn or whatever social media medium that the organization engages in to see, well, how do you guys engage with your staff? How are you pouring into your staff? And that can help you as well to determine if this is an organization that you want to give to. And the final point that I'll leave you guys with is looking at the organization's financial statements. I think it's something that should not be left off the table. Checking out how much revenue they're bringing in. By law, you can see all of those things on their annual reports, and they have to have that in a public place where you can view everything. And the biggest thing is looking at the revenue, looking at the assets, looking at how money was allocated. And for some people, if you want to look at some salaries, you can, to see how much the executive staff are making. Checking out any form of financial statements that the organization has, to me, it says a lot about them when they're being transparent. You know, they're making different infographics and data sheets that allows their audience to see, hey, this is where the money is being allocated, and this is the dollar amounts and impact that we've been able to make in X amount of time. It says a lot to me that this organization is doing the best that they can to prioritize, being transparent and ensuring that the viewers and the donors and the volunteers and different collaborators are a part of an organization that really values maximizing impact, even if that means having limited resources. So this is a short video, but it's just something that I wanted to cover because I think it's important, and I think that this could give perspective to someone who is interested in giving, who wants to give but is not sure where to start and what to do. And so again, as I conclude this video, I'm going to review my notes. The first step is think about what you want. Think about what you prioritize in your daily life. If that's healthcare, if that is fitness, if that is women and children, if that is the homeless, if that is food pantries, if that is economic development, whatever that looks like, and find different organizations that engage in that type of work, which is point 2. Once you found organizations that engage in that type of work, list them out and think about what you want to give to these organizations. Some organizations may need money, some may need equipment, some may need your time. And so as you are looking into these organizations, thinking about how you want to best support them is something that you can do. The third point is look at the number of partners and supporters that the organization currently has. Look at how they work with other community organizations and different organizations in their network, and seeing how they come together to ensure that they are maximizing impact and the nonprofit's resources are being adequately used. The fourth point is study leadership. Look into how the organization is investing in their staff members. Look into if there's a high turnover rate for the organization, if there is, a new CEO every 2 years or every 1 year, whatever the case may be. And whatever you find to be a red flag, consider that as you are determining if this is an organization that you would like to give to. And the final point is check out the organization's financial statements. That can be looking at their tax exempt status online, looking at any annual reports that they've released, and just delving into how much impact is the organization actually making based on the amount of dollars and time and resources that they have been given. So I hope and pray that this video was helpful for someone. It's more of an informal version of one of my videos, but again, I think it's something that we should be able to talk about. But until next time, I hope and pray that you guys are doing well and try to make the world a better place today.